Hello, bandits. How's it going, guys? Hopefully my sound's okay. I haven't done a sound test or check on this. How are you guys doing? Let me actually move something around on this really quick. Hope y'all had good days today. I am back in the house. Thank you, Graph. It is good to be back. I've actually really missed doing these shows, guys. It's weird. I'm moving some stuff really quick just to... It's weird because... Sorry, let me play with this really quick. Just bumping some stuff up. Moving some stuff around, trying to get stuff to fit in this new screen. I've got a different setup right now. And it's throwing me for a little bit of a loop. Let me get this. The only way to mess with this was live. I guess I'll just put it over here and I'll just leave that. Thanks for bearing with me really quick. Gotta love technical difficulties, guys. It wouldn't be a show, a Gator show without it, right? How are you guys doing? What up, Robert? What up, Con? Yo, long time. It's definitely been a long time. I've missed you guys. I know I've traded, but a lot of the stuff's been shorter. I've been in Discord if you were over there. I'll just leave it like this. Throw up in chats, thanks. It's good to be back. It's good to be back trading. It's good to be back doing these shows. Oh. How have things been? I've talked to some people and I've got some messages. So shorter night ish tonight. We'll do a little bit of review of today, a little bit of mental check. So I've got some thoughts and generally speaking with how I've been feeling now that I'm actually moved, and you can see I'm in a new room, a new space. This is actually not, and I posted a picture of my office, current office in Discord, and I'll see if I can pull it up. I doubt I can, at least not really quickly. Let's see if I can. It's going to take me forever to pull up that picture because it was the other day. But I posted a picture in Discord, if you saw it, of the current office setup. It's not a permanent setup. It'll be a temporary one. I'm actually building a brand new office upstairs, and once I get that one, I'll do a tour of it on a show where I kind of show what I was thinking, why I went through everything. Yeah, I don't know where that picture was, and all that kind of stuff. So thanks. I'll post some more pictures of the house and some other stuff later. What's up, Naveen? I'm sorry we didn't get to hang out before I bounced, before I left the Frederick area. But yeah, man, guys, I'm down in Georgia now in Lake Oconee. That's why I've been off, away from YouTube. So let's chat really quick. Let's kick this info. This will kind of just be an intro show. We'll talk a little bit, chat. If you guys got any questions, we'll talk about it. Absolutely been killing it in the market. Nice, dude. 15. Yo, I'm on my hottest streak of the year right now. So let's talk about that. I'm Gator, finally back. New digs, new house. This is my crib. Let's talk about the market a little bit. So, Naveen, I've actually thought about doing, in the future, maybe this fall or after it, a NewsBeat Live / like the Discord, the bandit Discord get together. I've actually considered seeing if there's interest in that, and if there is, setting up something at a local place. And for those who want to, like, I could make the reservations and put down whatever cash I need to hold the place, the hotel, and then get us something like maybe at a Ritz. We got to go, we got to go hard. So I was thinking about doing something like that. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. If there's enough interest in it, I can definitely start looking forward and getting dates that might work, and seeing if JR and some other people want to do something like that. Yeah, it's definitely an option. So hopefully there's no echo. How's my audio? Do you guys get echo from where I'm at right now? Hopefully there's not. It's fine. Okay. So I had a bunch of stuff on the floor, and this room's kind of empty. It's just a temporary office, so while my other one's getting completed. But a little bit of an echo I'm not going to put sound pads or other stuff, but hopefully it's not too bad. So, market stuff. So I had been trading for the year before then, and I was doing fine. I had a really good January. And this is just a recap of my year up to this point. February, March, April, May, and June. So 4 or 5 months. I have made more since I moved in the past 2 to 3 weeks than I have in those 4 to 5 months combined. And it's not that I didn't make anything in those months. I actually did. And I had green months there, but the point is that I have now gone back to my normal tier trading, my normal size trading, playing a little bit more aggressive. Yeah, you can bring it over here. Sorry, I got the kids in case they wake up. So I've got my normal tier, kind of normal, hey puppy, early aggression, trading names, and I've been trading semi-aggressive early when the setups come, taking my normal tier size, letting the trade work, locking it in, and just trying to add icing on the cake after that. It's been my trading, it was my trading style before, but I recognized and knew that I was in a lot of danger if I would have done that in the first part of the month, because I had so much pressure on me with the move. Yeah, man, 100 contracts in Tesla. No, Robert. So me and Peacock were joking. So I do 100 contracts in some names. Like I will do 100 contracts in the queues from time to time. I will do 100 contracts in something like Facebook or something like Square, depending on the trade, or 25 or 50, but that doesn't really matter. I'm not trading 100 in Tesla. But I've gone back to what would be a normal like 10 to 30 tier size for me. And then in some things I go a little bit higher, but the real point is, maybe Amazon now. Actually, Amazon now I would trade 100 contracts without thinking about it, because your risk is roughly the same. If you're trading 100 contracts of Facebook or Square or Amazon as it is post-split, it's about the same as trading 10 to 20 contracts of Tesla. So it's really not that bad. No, it's just more the comfortable amount that I'm used to taking. Like, so this is how I've been doing what I used to do and what I'm doing now. I have roughly 3 tiers on my contract set. Like I was just doing 5 and 10 over the last couple months. And now I'm doing between 10 and 30, and then I size down. But early in the day, like if I'm taking a one and done at the open or something, or a longer hold in a name, I'm going to take a little bit smaller size and I'm going to let the trade go. If I'm taking sometimes early quick scalps, I'm not necessarily afraid now to take 20 contracts of Tesla or 30 contracts of Tesla, because I don't have any external pressures on me to have to make the money. And it all depends on how the setups are going. And I'm not sure, and I think a lot of what it is when you have all those extra pressures like moving, buying a new house, getting into, and now there is a little bit of your stop loss on the day, Dari, and I'll come back to that. And your tier size should be based on your max stop loss. But so my tier size is based on the max stop loss, but it's a mix of tier size, and the trades I take are based on my max stop loss. Like as soon as I start the day, lately I've been cautious for about 5 or so minutes. I've been waiting, and Tesla actually has been open up flat, so it's been easier to play off of moving averages. But like if I wait for, like for instance, let's use Tesla today. Let's look at Tesla this morning. Let's go to a chart here. Let's move my face out of the way. And let's go to a 2-minute chart in Tesla today. So I talked about wanting Tesla long at the open. So as soon as Tesla opened and we did this, I took 5 contracts. I limited in. And then I was up about 1.5 points in them, and then I just held them because I wanted them to go up. and then they started going down, and I sold them for about a point loss on 5 contracts. So my idea was, at the open, if Tesla was to run, I would be okay. With 5 contracts, I could take a 2-3 point win, and I would be good. I didn't limit in to 30 contracts because it's too early in the day. I don't want to start my day down a massive amount. But I don't mind limiting in to 5 contracts here. Now, when Tesla did this and whipped down and hit this 200 on this candle, it hit the 200, it bounced. When it came back down, and I got out somewhere in here when it pulled back down because the contracts were all over the place, and it did this, hit the 200 again on the 2 minute, and instead of going lower, it actually held up and went. I actually took 20 contracts, and then it popped, and I was a point or so up, and then I sold near the breakout, and then I got out. I wasn't holding it then, so I took a quicker pop on a larger size. And then I waited, and I called some of these plays out, and I think Mitchell called some of them out, maybe Rose. And I was scalping, I was up a point or two, and I was trying to hold some, but it was so whippy, I didn't want to hold for the whole move. I was just scalping, and I sized down from that 20 contract trade to a 10 contract trade because I had won 1 or 2, and I had a little bit of cushion in my account. So my size overall is kind of based in a mix of my max stop loss for the day and the setup I'm taking. Generally speaking, I just trade 10 contracts as my default size, and then I'll size up. If I really like a contract, I'll click, or I really like a contract or a setup that I've been waiting for, and it's just super strong and it's something I really, really like, I'll size into that trade. I use the 1 minute open. I'm just looking at a 2 minute chart. I probably got in here going to a 1 minute chart, but I had the 1 minute above me. But the 2 minute, I'm talking Kelly's strategy. So at the opens now, I'm always looking at the 2 minute to see where everything is in relation to the 21 and the 200 per the video I did with Kelly, and per Kelly's strategy, where you're looking for compression. So I'm looking for compression or expansion at the open, and I'm buying based off of an acceleration or a violent move in one direction. Yesterday, it was a short, I believe. It initially popped and then it shorted, and it was in an expanded zone yesterday. When was it? Here we go. So you see yesterday the difference in Tesla and today. So look at the difference, guys. This is how I've been trading the open, is look at the difference in Tesla yesterday. This is the open. This is the 2 minute chart. We opened up below the 200. If we would have opened up above it, I would have been expecting a long, which I did want a long, but we opened up right below it. If you remember what I was talking about pre-market. So here we go. It opens up below the 200, goes down a little bit, comes back up and tests. It doesn't even break through the 2 minute 200, and then accelerates down. So I short this. The difference in today is you go over. We open up right above the 21 and the 200. We're very compressed. We go through both of them. We whip around. You have a 1 minute kind of compression. I mean, you can see the 1 minute chart here. This is the 1 minute. So 1 minute 200. You go down a little bit. You bounce up. You kind of chop around. And this was slightly difficult price action because of how whippy it was. But my idea is long because you bounced off the 2 minute 200 and you're going up. So I'm just looking for entries. So I'm looking for a pullback, and at the bottom of every 2 minute candle or at the bottom of a 1 minute candle, I'm buying long. And that's what I'm calling out in the room, and you guys hear me calling in. Tesla at the money was open. And that's really what I'm waiting for. And I know I took this one long here and possibly called it out. And if one of you recorded it, you could let me know if I'm BSing, but I'm pretty sure I called this out because you bounced finally above the 2 minute and then you came back down and tested it. That's just such an easy long to me, every time, because you have an instant stop just down here below it. So it went below it, started ticking up, and then you just take it long. And that's what I've been doing at the open. So the last couple of days have just been money. And on a trade like that, I might tier heavy, and then after that, I pretty much just size down, and then I go down to 5 to 10 contracts, and I just trade pretty much, and I'm just trying to add on, slowly build after that and protect my day. And that's kind of what I've been doing the last 2 weeks. And I've had the last 2 to 3 weeks since I moved, the bottom of my candle is the trigger to go long in a bull move. Failed breakdowns. So I look at, and this is why I call things out in the room when you guys hear me call stuff, and I'm saying I'm looking for, so let's pretend, for instance, we had no idea what way Tesla was going to go, and we kind of talked about it. But where's the afternoon move I traded? That might have been yesterday. Okay, so we could take a couple of these moves. I'm trying to think which one I want to do. Let's do this one. Okay, so let's do this move. Let's say we're done with the first leg here. So, wrong thing. I'm just going to throw a fib up here. Here's what I'm looking at on a 2-minute and a 1-minute chart. So let's say that here's your first move. Here's your first leg. You start pulling back, you hit the 8. So what am I looking at after this point? Let's say it hits the 8 and you take this and then it breaks down and you sell. When is my next buy point? My buy point is not up here when it might trigger. I'm not waiting for this trigger where it could do this, because obviously this candle triggered and then pulled down. What I'm waiting for is failed breakdowns. So on a 1-minute chart, what that looks like is this. And then I'll go back through the comments. Hopefully I'm not missing anything. So once we're up in here, I'm not trying to buy right here necessarily, or right here. I'm trying to buy down here. So if you look at this, you're here, you pop some, you go down. Okay, now this candle, where would I buy this candle? This candle's kind of sitting still. It pulls down some towards the bottom. As it pulls off of the bottom of the previous candle is when I try to buy. And now if I'm green or flat on the trade and this candle kind of chops around here, I'm not necessarily tempted to sell, and then it goes up a little bit. You could sell or not, kind of up to you. It triggers, you know, if you don't take the money, you're going to lose in this trade here, and this is why I'm using it as an example. You have a chance of breaking even. If it runs, you're going to get a massive payday. If it just chops around and pulls down, you can sell for break even or a small loss, as opposed to if you buy here at the breakout, you know, the difference in 76, you know, and then that breakdown, you could lose a point on those contracts or two. And then here it breaks through the 8. And so what I would be watching here on this next candle, if I'm still assuming we're in a bull run, I still assume we're going to hit the 127. So I fib this line. I assume we're going to hit the 127. So my target is $84. So I think we're going to get in a bull move to $84. What am I look at here after we broke through the 1? I think, hey, there's a good chance we might test the 21. If we don't, where do I want to get in at? Okay, we're going here. All right, so this broke down. All right, I'm going to buy it if it pulls back up above the low of this candle. So when I'm calling scalps on these 1-minute setups, what I'm calling is like, all right, we're going through here. All right, we're breaking back up into the body of this candle. I'm going to buy here. And then I buy. And then it does this. And this is on a 1-minute chart, so over the course of a minute. And this candle is 3 points long. So you're up a point to 2 points on your contracts here. If you wait to here, you're up 3 or 4 points on your contracts. You know, if you don't sell, that's on you. You could hold, but honestly, you should probably at least sell some on that pop. So then if it does this, who cares? You're not buying up here at the break and then getting chopped around a quick pop and losing. You're buying down here as it takes back into the body. And then your natural stop is only, so this is, if you're buying as it goes back into the body, there's only a point difference between like here and here. So that's a much tighter stop. If it goes in and then goes back down, you're not going to lose as much, especially if you're getting good PI. And then you feel pretty good about holding this move, at least some of the move. And you can take your money whenever you want to. Then you just have to watch the tape. And then if you fail this breakout, you really should wait until you hit the 21. Like if you use a moving average, here's how I think about price action and moving. If it's going up and you hit a moving average and you fail to break day highs and you pull down, I have to wait for the next moving average to hit. It's a rule I have for myself. It works for me. So I wouldn't be trading the 1 minute here. I would be waiting for the 21 to hit. So I wouldn't be buying the bottom of these candles, because you hit a moving average, you broke out and you failed to break a day high. You need another moving average or a 5-minute time frame, a bigger time frame to break you out. So then you come back down here, and let's say, you know, here's this trigger. You buy this and it fails and it comes back down. Where do I want to get back in? I want to get back in at the bottom of this candle somewhere. Like I want to get back in down here. I don't want to necessarily get in all the way at the top of them. That's just how I look at it. And when I'm calling out scalps, what I'm calling is I think we're still in a bull move, and I'm trying to tell you guys where I think the safest entry is based on me watching the price of the stock level 2, what bids and asks are being taken out, what's happening as these time frames break down. When we're down here at the bottom of this previous candle right here, does it look like they're selling? Are the bids being taken out and it going higher? Are the asks being taken out? You know, what's happening? So that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my level 2, and I'm seeing what's happening as we're at the bottom of these candles, you know, and that's how I decide my entries and what I call out. So those are kind of the different things. I wait for the pullback, and I'm buying at the bottom. Not of every candle, because look at it over here now. We're on a down move. So this is why it's important to identify where you're at. So this is when you give back money and scalping. If you're down here and you're buying every breakout, you're like, man, this isn't working. I lose. I'm buying down here. I'm losing. Well, yeah, you hit the 127 fib. So you need to pull back to the 2-minute 21. So you hit your 127 fib, you at least need to pull back to here. And then that didn't work, so you at least need to pull back to the next fib line. And then you did get a pop there, and then it failed. It's like, actually at this point you could short it, but okay, it failed to break through day highs with volume. It hit the 21 and failed. Like, this is a resistance point. If you get below the 2-minute 21 and you pop back up into it, that's always a resistance for me, and I always sell into that just in case this happens. That's just, you know, something you should watch yourself, and you should see that happen. So, but if it would have broke higher, you would have been fine. But then it goes lower. So when it fails to break out, you're like, okay, the 61% line isn't enough to get us up. We now need the 50% retracement. And at this point, I was actually shorting Meta. So I told you guys I wasn't trading this. And I said, hey, I might take this trade, I think I said. And I said I might take this trade. I think I might have called this one, but I wasn't playing it. I was shorting Meta. And then when we got down here near the 50% retracement, that was actually, I think I might have done this. Yeah, that was 50% of the whole move. Yeah, 50% of the whole move. You would have been up here at this one. And when we got down at this level, and you're basing down here, and you have this, and then I'm looking at this on the 2-minute chart, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you have like 4 or 5 candles at the same level, at this point, I'm looking for a long. So if I'm sitting here watching Tesla, and it's just basing like this, and you're not breaking lower here, what I'm thinking is this is gonna go. This is support. I don't know when I'm buying, but at any point in here, I could just buy and set a stop below the bottom of one of these candles, and get in. So if I miss this breakout here, you know what I'm thinking? I'm just waiting. And if it hits VWAP and fails, where's my next buy point? Right here. As soon as we get down to the bottom of this 67.24, which is 67.54, as soon as we get in that mid to high 67 range going down, I'm buying. I am getting in the options for a long here. Why? Because we're either going to break down, and in that case, I'm wrong very quickly, and I know I'm wrong, and I take a very small loss, or I'm in it and I get this pop. So you have like an established support line right here. It's just easy to see if you look left. And so when I'm looking at this in the intraday trying to call out stuff, this is what I'm looking at. And then it comes in here, and you're like, bam, and you can catch that. And I think I did come back and catch this play, actually. I don't remember. I'd have to go look. So I wait for the pullback. I wait for stuff like this to time up. It's not so kind of for the time to answer the question about is there a time for the bounce. It depends. I do prefer on 5-minute candles. So I've noticed when 5-minute candles close and there's close to a breakout, within the last 15 seconds of the candle closing, you'll usually get a run if they're going to go. I like to get in before that 5-minute candle closes, but you'll often get a pull down. So it's a dangerous entry, but for me, it's what I do. But there is a dangerous entry there. No, there's not necessarily a second or third time for this to be tested, because you could have taken it here and then sold into VWAP. So if this would have bounced up and then came up here, oops, I didn't mean to delete that line or move that line. I have to redo that one. It's more when you see it established. So like on the 2 minute, you bounce off it 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And so on the 1 minute, what happened? Where was it? Where am I at? So on the 1 minute, it's even more convincing. Look at it on the 1 minute. It's like boom, 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 boom. Like you're just kind of ledging here, boom, boom, into the 21, into the 200. So this is no man's land. So you're in no man's land, kind of, but you have support of the 1 minute 200. So you could just buy it, very small size, and set a stop below the 2 minute and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to let myself lose a point on these contracts. I'm going to take small enough size, if I'm greening the day, that I'm cool with losing a point. I'm going to buy it around 67.20, 67.50 next time it goes down there. Because you bounced and failed, you bounced and failed, you bounced up, you failed that one. So you think, you know what, it's really holding up here after how many tests down here? You know what, I'm going to buy this candle. And yeah, it might hit the 8 and come down, and it might break, or it might hit the 21 and fail. But as you know what, as long as it doesn't break the 1 minute 200, I'm staying in this trade. Or the 50% retracement. So what are you giving yourself? A 1 point loss on the stock? And what's your upside? Day highs, or at least VWAP. So you've got from down here at $67, it's at $67 all the way up to $73. So you have like a 5 point to the upside and a 1 point before you take your loss. So little things like that are what I'm looking for when I'm calling stuff out midday, is something that's just basing in a stock that we think is bullish on the daily, which I thought Tesla was bullish. Geronimo had a target of $94, which hit today, and he sold his here at 94, that he took at the open. So when you have a lot of people saying, we're really bullish on this name, and you're in the middle of a bull move, and you're pulled back to that kind of 50% level, and you're just basing for 30 minutes, literally 30 minutes, what's wrong with taking 5 contracts here, giving it room, and just kind of letting the trade work? Or scalping the long side, waiting for it to come back down to the mid bottom of this range, taking it again. All right, it hit the 21 and started pulling down, I'm out. All right, I hit it again, I'm going to get back in. All right, it hit VWAP, it started pulling down, I'm going to get out. All right, it's back down here again, I'm going to get back in again. All right, there you go. And that's all I'm looking for. It's not really a secret, that one, yeah. It's not really a secret, or there's no secret to like hidden knowledge to day trading and kind of catching these scalps and these different things. It's just recognizing when stuff like this is setting up. And I've obviously got my other charts, the like 4 time frames and stuff that I'm looking at. And I'm just looking for that, little patterns like that to set up, throwing up a fib line, throwing up the different stuff and being like, okay, where are we at? What do we see? And to be honest, since I moved into this new home, I've had a lot more clarity in my trading. Like, because I don't have as much pressure on me from the outside of all the stuff going on. So I'm just sitting here and I'm not thinking, man, I have to make this much money. Man, I have to do this later. Man, I have to do this. I'm just sitting here and it's like, oh, and you can see the stuff like this a little bit more when you don't have that external pressure on you. And the reason I'm saying that is not to say anything one way or another about me, but maybe if you are having a hard time identifying some of this stuff, it could be because of other stuff that's going on in your life. You could have a lot of external pressures that are pushing you down, a lot of mental anguish, a lot of mental psychological stressors or lack of sleep or lack of different stuff that is actually stopping you from identifying these setups and identifying trades and identifying this kind of with that confidence. Now that I don't have a lot of those early stressors and I'm just kind of sitting here taking trades, letting stuff go, it has been a little bit easier for me over the last 2 weeks to identify things. And that doesn't mean I'm going to get more aggressive. I'm not going to change what I'm doing. I'm not sizing up any more than where I'm at right now. I'm not being more aggressive. I'm not like, okay, we're going to take 100 contracts in Tesla or anything like that. I'm still following my same rules. I'm looking for 3 or 4 names at the open that I see are compressed or really expanded. And I'm looking for them to open up at certain levels and then to do certain things that I want them to do. And if I have names like that, I call it out in Discord in the morning before I get on. Square and Facebook were two other names, or Square and Meta were two other names that I did the last 2 days. And that's kind of what I'm sitting there looking for, and I'm waiting for these things to set up. And then when they do, I'm just taking the trade, and I'm gaining that confidence because I've been making the money now. And like I said, in the last 3 weeks, I've made more cash than I made over the last 3 or 4 months. Not to say I didn't have really good days or make a lot at different times or lose, but I was much more inconsistent when I had those pressures. It's like I would have a lot of flat days. I would have a few red days and then one really big green day, and then another medium green day, and then a few red days or a flat day, a small green day. And it was just like adding up those small green days. And the small green days were great, and they didn't hurt at all because I wasn't losing. But now that I have a little bit of relief, as far as I'm at my new home, I've moved in, I'm chilling, I've got at least for now, a new office. It's just an empty room with a desk and a monitor and some, monitors and some other stuff. But I've got a nice view of a house and a lake, my front porch outside, and it's a nice setup. I'm a little bit more relaxed than I was in the middle of the move when you had all that pressure of doing that. When you are in that relaxed state, it allows you to trade a lot better. So if you're having that pressure of something else going on, give yourself a break. You can size down. You can do, there's no harm in saying that, I sized down and was trading 5 to 10 contracts max for the last 3 or 4 months because I knew those pressures were making me trade down as well. And I was still trying to grow, and there was occasions when I would size up when I saw something that was just so good, but it wasn't the same as I'm trading right now, just because of that little bit of that relaxation and the ability to just trade without a lot of extra things kind of pushing that on me. So some of that is kind of what I've been thinking and what I've been seeing, and I'm really glad to be back doing the shows, and hopefully I can start doing them regularly 2 to 3 times a week, and getting back in there, because I think it helps me, and I hope it helps you guys when I can do them, and we can chat and see some of these things and talk about the psychology of it and the different trades and setups that we see that are working. I took off all through here. My plan, though, like I told you guys, was just to trade to 10:30, 11. I traded till 11 or so, and then I went and did some stuff around the house. What up, Rose? You're the best girl. We have some incredible traders. I didn't say it at the beginning, though, guys, but we're almost to 500 subscribers. So if you guys do get the opportunity and you like this stuff, like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff, share it with friends. I plan on doing a lot of stuff now for the channel. I hope to spend some time growing it, creating some new content, new kind of stuff, trade ideas and strategies, and videos specifically, designed to help others identify what I'm doing. And the thing with some of the stuff is it does change and it adapts, but hopefully, I'll still be here. We'll still be doing this. And we'll grow and kind of adapt as a crew and adapt together. You guys make me better traders, a better trader, and I hope, I can help you guys. And trading with Rose, trading with Mitchell, you other guys in chat, when you put in ideas, and I see stuff in there, it gives me confidence to look at names, and I trust you guys as traders. So when I see people posting things or saying things like they like this name or they like this or watch this short, this is working, I put it, the Tesla Whisperer. Yeah, Tesla's my girl. I really love trading this name when it's working. It's just a fun name. Not gonna lie though, pre FOMC I made more on my day. I made about 50% more on my day from where I was at. But I made as much on this short in Facebook and Meta as I did in Tesla today. But yeah. The Tesla Whisper. I might even start recording, so you guys who are just on YouTube, if you're not in Discord, and I might start posting some intraday stuff. If there are any types of videos or stuff that you guys want to see, let me know. I'm going to start considering putting out like a first 30 minutes. I had done it before, but a first 30 minutes of the day type stuff and recording my screen. I've got new screens and I'm trying to change my OBS to record it, and it doesn't record it how I want, and I'm not sure how it's like. I'm trying to change now how it looks. So I'm going to mess around with that and try to get it to where I'm recording it in a certain way, and I might show like a first 30 minutes of the day and post videos like that to YouTube, just to show people kind of what I do and how I trade. Not sure, but I think just to go back and compare for what you guys are doing to what I'm doing, even on my losing days, I think something like that would be good. And so you guys can see the entry points on when I'm in and when I'm not in, and even so you can see sometimes the lag from when I call something to when you enter it, because it's like, oh, I'm looking to get in here, hey, I'm in, and you can kind of see why sometimes you can't always call stuff out, because you can see what happens on the level 2 when I enter and stuff like that. So once I get my OBS set up, I might start doing that. I think maybe that could be helpful to some people. So different stuff like that. If you do like that kind of stuff, always you can let me know, drop a comment afterwards, and like the stuff. So, and there's be some other stuff, but yeah, if you guys are interested too on like a NBL hangout, we can probably organize something like that in the future. I definitely think we could put the nose to the grindstone if people actually want to do that and people would actually show up. Maybe we'll do it at the Ritz. There's a Ritz where I live, not far. Y'all want to stay at a Ritz-Carlton? Like amazing golf course, all kinds of stuff. Maybe we'll get a discount rate, be like $500 a night. We could do a weekend, $800 a night maybe. If you guys are down for that, let me know. I mean, we're NBL, we're ballers, we go hard. Just make it, and it's a business expense because we're all going there, so it's a tax write-off. So consider it money that you're using to spend with the people you trade with, as opposed to money you're giving to the feds. So it's a tax write-off, and we all need to hang out at a Ritz. Nice spa there and all this other stuff. I would totally do it. And I'll organize it too if you guys are down. We can look for a time to do that. So I'd rather give money to hang out with you guys than I would money to the feds, because they're just going to waste it and lose it anyway. We'll have to do an East Coast. I can't go to the West Coast. I've got, with the kids here and stuff, if I tell my wife, it's like, babe, I'm going to Cali. You got the twins. I'll be back Monday. I might do that. It's a business trip. I think she would be fine with it. I got to find a way to convince her of that. Either way, I thought FOMC was great today, guys. I traded it very small afterwards, and honestly traded it really small and just waiting for those good setups to come and to go worked for me and worked really well. And I built onto my day, and it was a good day. I don't have a ton to say. It was pretty a straightforward day, simple day. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be making more videos. Glad to be doing these shows. I'll try to put out some normal content and stuff that is short and just midday kind of stuff that people can watch and see why I take a trade or why I look at certain things. And yeah, it's good to be back and good to be doing this. I'll do a show Friday night, I think. And then I'll try to start next Monday with them, and we'll see if any guests want to come on and talk on Friday. I'll hit some people up. But yeah, other than that, I don't got much. You got any questions for me before we bounce tonight? I mean, I talk about part of well, how I watch the tape is basically just what I'm looking for when it hits a level. Like, I used to live in Florida, Graph. I'll be down there. My parents still live in Florida. My dad and mom still live in Orlando area, and I have family down there. So I go to Florida, not very regularly anymore, but I go down there. So yeah, and I'll do a show on tape reading. It's a difficult topic because you have to spend time in front to see, but what you're watching, like, I'll talk through it, and if you go back to the videos when I do the live trade reviews, which I'll do some in the future, you see what I'm doing. Like I talk through it then. And I'll talk through it on the future trade review shows, and I'll do some strategy videos where I talk through the tape reading, and what I'm looking for. But it's not really complicated. It's just you look at it and you see the bids being taken out or the asks being taken out at a level, and you see like when it's hitting something, the selling stops, and it's like the volume slowing down and the buying starts coming in, or you start seeing stuff like that happening, and then you buy. Like, and it sounds stupid simple, but it really is. Once you see it, and it just takes time watching how it goes. Level 2, I don't know what you mean. What's level 2? That's your time and sales. Like I'm watching the time and sales. Like you have your bid and your ask, and then you have the prints that are going off. Like you have the ask and the prints and the bid and the prints. That's what I'm watching. I'm not watching the charts. The charts are delayed from the bid and the ask. I'm watching my live feed of the P&L as I'm taking trades and as levels are hitting. So it's like on a 5-minute, I think Rose talked about it today early on, and a few other people did too. It's if you're watching Tesla here and you're looking to get in long, and let's use this as an example. This here, if you're like, okay, so this broke out, where do I get in? This is a 5-minute candle, so Tesla chopped around here for 5 minutes. Well, the bottom of this 5-minute candle at 110 is 80.91. So let's go to the 1 minute at 1110 or 110. Where's 110? Where's 110? So right about here. So if the bottom is 80.91, and this is that 5-minute before we started going up, I think. So I didn't trade this, I'm just using this as an example. If you're looking at this, and every time it hits that 81 level, it bounces, and you have like 5 or 6 times when it hits it, it's basically going down, and every time it goes down in that area, you see the selling stop, or you see green starting to come in, or just nothing really happens, and then it kind of goes up some. That's kind of tape reading or level 2 reading. You're watching how the price reacts and what the bid and the ask does at that level. If we're breaking out, like here's kind of a double top. So if we're going in here in Tesla and we're going out, like, man, this is going to break out. Well, what am I watching here? I am watching as this candle opens, what's happening. Is it just a bunch of green going off on my chart, and there's a lot of buying coming in, or does it start slowing down? Does it start getting choppy? Does it sit still for a second and then red comes in? Like, what am I seeing on my level 2 to get it to go up? No, Sunny, I don't use stop losses or trailing stops for option trading. I could, so I'm going to put a disclaimer there. I use stop losses that are mental. So it's like, for instance, if I was doing this, my stop loss would be, I'm watching my level 2 or my tape to see if we break like 80, this candle. So if we break like 80.91 or 80.50, I'm going to get out. So I'm just watching the tape, my level 2, which if you go back and watch some of my other videos, you'll see my level 2. So I'm just watching the fidelity level 2, and if it gets below that, I'm going to get out. If it doesn't, I'm gonna, I'm gonna stay in. I don't use hard stop losses. On names like, I've considered doing it on names like when I trade smaller names, or I do the Qs, or I do something. I've considered doing like a trailing stop in my options, and I think it would work. But it's just not something I do. I've talked about it and I've thought about it. But it's not something that I've done, or something I particularly care to do. I generally just watch one trade at a time, very rarely 2 trades, and I let that kind of play out. And I manage that one trade, that I'm in. No idea about other resources. Uncle Justin, you could Google it. I will do some future shows on it for sure, and I will do some strategy shows where I literally just focus on level 2. If you want to subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you know that so you know when I post them. But in some of my future stuff, I will make sure on my trade review shows that I specifically focus on level 2 and what I'm reading in the tape there. But there's not, you could do a ton of research and find some stuff out there. But really, level 2, what I'm really just looking for is how the tape reacts when it hits a level. And so sit back and just watch. Does it look like here, let's say, okay, you broke out through day highs. What happens? Is there accelerated buying and we're ripping up? Or is it going up and then it stops and then we see some selling coming in? What's happening? What's happening when we're hitting VWAP? Like when we come down and we hit, let's go to a 2-minute chart. When we come in and we hit a level, like the 2-minute 200 here. Look at this 2-minute 200. It hit, it goes up. You know, it hit, it bounced. It hit, it bounced. The third time it hit and it went higher and it bounced. You know, what are we seeing happen? It comes back down and it hits the 200. What's the tape doing when it hits there? It hits there, it stops, and it just starts going up. That's tape reading. I don't really look at charts other than to just know the level. Like the chart is just a history of the price action and what the level 2 did. So it's like here, you have a top. Okay, we go down, we go back up, we come into that top. Are we accelerating in and through that? Are we breaking past $92? Or do we come just under $92 and then we start kind of slowing and the buying stops on my level 2? And instead of seeing like tons of shares going off, it's slowing down, and then we kind of drop down and we start like, you know, accelerated selling. And that's what you're watching, and then it goes back down. And then, okay, it hit the 200. What happened when it hit the 200? It instantly started, you know, it hit it and bounced. Okay, so now I'm looking to go long, and then I'm going long. And now the second time, look at the difference. The second time when we hit this level, what's it doing? It broke this $92. Look, it broke it with authority, and then we're going up. So what's the price doing when it hits there? Yeah, I agree with Rose. You could just trade off level 2 and never look at a chart. Generally, yeah, I think you could. And so level 2 and reading that, it's not like it's I say it's not complicated, knowing that like you might not, obviously if you're asking about it, you don't know what it is or necessarily how to do it, but really it's just watching how it reacts to different levels and watching what it's doing. It's like if you just see a crap ton of buying come in, sometimes you just dive into the violence and you take it. Because I didn't, it was probably because I was really heavy, and I made 3 points. I was probably in 20 calls or more or something like that. Nice, Justin, thanks. Yeah, I'll put out some stuff for sure on it, but yeah, that's kind of what I mean with level 2, and I'll just have to talk through it on some of my trading videos. So I'll do some trade review shows in the next couple weeks. I'll do a couple of them, and I'll make sure I focus on level 2, and I'll pick trades where I'm using the level 2 to make money so you guys can see, and then I'll title the video using level 2 to make money or something, or learn to use level 2, and I'll make a new video. I'll make a new category on my YouTube channel that's just based on tape reading, and I'll just post my tape reading stuff there, or I'll make sure that all the videos are in that playlist so you guys can go back and go through it. So I'll do that in the future, and anything that's specific to tape reading and level 2 reading, I'll put in that YouTube playlist so you guys can check it out. More than likely, Matt, I was probably in like 20 or 30, I don't think I did 30 today, I was probably in 20 calls, and I was up 3 points, and so I just took the money, and it wasn't, and the prints probably paused, so I was probably up 2 to 3 points, and then it slowed down, and it could have went higher, but I was just like, yo, I'm cool with I'm cool with this move, and I'm cool with the money, and you know, on 20 contracts that'd be like $6 grand or something, and it's like, yeah, I'm good with this. And I just took the money, or I sold most of it, and then I'm going to look for a re-entry on smaller size to kind of add icing to the cake. And I don't need to make $6,000 a day to make a living or whatever it is. So, sometimes, yes, there's more of a move to be had, and yes, there's a lot of opportunity to make, but sometimes, especially on a day like today when it was a little bit choppy and you don't really know what's going to happen, even though you're overall bullish and you have other market forces in play and you're up 3 points on, in the tens of contracts, it's like, let's just take the money. And so I think it was more just that. It was just, hey, I'm up a lot in this, market's running, but I'm just going to, I'm going to take my money and I'm going to scalp smaller size and add to this, as opposed to just letting these run, because stuff like that happens. Yeah, it was a nice, I did laugh. I was like, ah, man, I should have stayed in this. It went up another couple points afterwards. I was just having fun. I was just having fun trading Tesla the way it was moving today. It was just, to me, an easy kind of name to trade once it started going. Yeah, it was a good trade, but that's why, I looked at it, I thought it was going higher, but there were times earlier today when this price action was going, when I was up a point or two on 20 contracts and I didn't sell, and instead I ended up only making 20 cents or 30 cents because of the way the price was moving. And I would have had a massive day if I would have just sold those pops, or if I just held it all the way to target. I didn't. I still don't hold names like Tesla very long when I size up. I have to size down to 5 to 10 or 5 contracts to hold full moves to target, like that 127 pivot. So I wasn't sized down and I wasn't trying to hold. So when I'm up 3 points on a trade that I was only expecting to make like a point on or something, or 50 cents on, I just take the money. And it's not that there couldn't have been more money, and sometimes I leave a runner when I shouldn't, and sometimes I do the other thing. But I was happy about the trade. I was just happy for the trade, and it's never about, to me, catching the whole move. It's just about catching what your trade plan was for that initial trade. So it's like, I'm just planning on scalping this, and then you get in, and then all of a sudden you're up 2 points, like, haha, I'm taking this, and you just take it. So it kind of depends on what your plan is. As opposed to Meta today, when I shorted Meta, I had a target in Meta, and I took pretty decent size, and I got in somewhere around here, and my target was the 2-minute 200, and so, which was also a pivot, was this pivot. So it was the 127 pivot and the 2-minute 200 were the same thing. So my target in Meta after this breakdown was the 2-minute 200 and pivot, and so I sold most of it there. And I left a runner in case it decided to go down. It didn't, and I think I re-entered once and shorted it again, and then got out again when I thought it was going lower, and then it got stopped out of my runner when it came back up to here. So there's two different types of trades. There's I'm scalping 10 to 20 contracts in Tesla, and then there's I have a target and a name that I'm trying to hit, and size matters when it comes to those types of trades. And my idea going into the trade matters, because I don't let my scalps turn into swing trades. I don't let my swing trades turn into scalps. I have an idea for my plan when I'm going into this trade, and I'm going to let that work. Sometimes my scalps, like the Tesla today, turn from I'm expecting 25 to 50 cents and sell, and it automatically just runs, and you catch 2 to 3 points in it, and then you sell, and that just happens. And then sometimes you get stopped out of your runner, your trades, your long trades and stuff like that, like the Meta one. So it kind of works both ways. But I'm not looking, or I'm looking for a specific trade, and I'm not just gambling and staying in something because I'm green, and I'm not selling because I'm red or selling because I'm green. There's a trade plan for my trade, and when I get in a trade, I have a trade plan. When I get out of a trade, it's because the plan has changed. I've looked at something else and I changed my mind, or did the trade failed or the trade worked. And that's how I do my stuff. So when I'm holding a trade, it's because it's the plan to hold the trade. And when I'm out of a trade early, like Facebook or like Tesla, it's because the plan was to scalp it. The plan was not to hold Tesla here to this move. It was never my plan at the open to take Tesla and hold the whole move. It was to catch a point or so on 10 contracts or on 20 contracts and get out. So it was to find, especially once it showed it was going to be whippy, like this is a $10 candle. This is a $9 or a $7 candle on the 2-minute. I'm not holding that personally with a lot of size. Some people do. I don't. If you do, more power to you. I don't want to do that. So I would rather just find good entries, which are what I try to call out in the room, which is down here, which is here at the bottom where I think is a good entry. It pops. I take some. Occasionally I hold. But yeah, it's like you have a trade plan and then you let that trade plan execute. I'm not Kelly, for sure. No, Matt. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't for the PI. PI is dependent on, so when it's very volatile, I've noticed sometimes that when the PI is bad and like during FOMC, I get better PI on smaller contract sizes. If I'm trading a good contract, I actually don't notice the difference between 20 and 10. Midday, I do. So if you're talking about between like 11 and 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock, yeah, I think I get better fills on 5 contracts. In the morning, when there's no issue with liquidity, trading 20 contracts doesn't really make a difference. And I've tried it by marketing in to like 20 at a time in something like Facebook or the queues. And then I've also tried it with just buying a block of 100 in the queues. And I don't actually notice a difference in my overall where I get filled at. Like I just put in like market, and or I just do a block of 100. I don't necessarily always notice a difference in the fills consistent enough to actually make me just do like, you know, something less, especially early. Now midday when liquidity dries up, for sure, smaller size is better for fills, or just limit in. So yeah, if you guys don't have anything else, any particular questions, but I'm glad to be back. I'm glad to be doing this. I'm going to be, again, getting back into the shows as much as I can, doing them weekly, trying to create more content, doing some other stuff, maybe making some merch, some t-shirts, some stuff, and I'm thinking about doing some like charity stuff where we sell stuff with sayings or different stuff that we've done in the room or other people have done. And like I chucked it or different stuff like that. Yeah, Robert, let me look really quick. So, Sonny, I don't have a trading room that I charge. So there's the NewsBeat live room, which I'll get you the info for. I'll get you some info for that. If you're in my Discord, Sonny, Discord message me, DM me, and I'll get you the info for the trading room that I trade in, along with Rose and a lot of other people here. JR, who comes on the show a lot. Kelly's in that room. I'll get you their info. Let me look at your trade. Sorry, I did see you post that earlier. So what name? Tesla? You entered 934.47. $934, so we're looking over here. And stopped out at 946.18, lost a point and a half. 934. Or you assume Tesla? What name did you do Tesla, Robert? There's no way this is Tesla. What name did you take? Did you post it earlier and I missed it? Just let me know what name. You did Tesla. So you got in Tesla at 934, which is here, and 934, and then you got out at 946. I assume you mean 36, because 46 is all the way up here. There's no way you lost a point on that. You would have made like 20 points. So I think you mean here. Yeah, 30. I was like, dude, if you got a bad, you took puts instead of calls. Okay, so 36. I took this trade too, and so is there a reason you didn't sell here on this pop? If you got in at 936.47, oh, 936, that's here. So you got in at this break. Sorry. So 936, that's this candle. 47. I'm guessing you were up here in the middle of a breakout, and then it failed, and you got stopped out at down here. 34. So you got in right here, and you got out in here. I don't know exactly where it's at. It just looks like so this was choppy. No, you held it. I need to go back and review this. Well, I mean, I'm not going to just say something dumb like you should have sold. I will say this. I took several losses in this area because I was holding too. And you got stopped out in here. And the contracts in here were moving really crazy, and the PI wasn't necessarily great. There were 3 or 4 trades where I did the same thing that you did, as far as I was in them and I went up and I lost some, and because I didn't sell, and then I changed, stopped at the break of the red bar. So you got back, stopped at the break of the red bar at 936.18. So this popped, you were probably up a little bit, and then you sold when it got back through this. I don't remember what I did here. I don't think this was a bad trade. I might have taken it and might have lost with you, to be honest with you. You're going through day highs. You're up here. You probably heard the JR and what I was looking at and the stuff to go up. And then it just whipped back down, and it was just a choppy play. I think it was a good sell. I mean, how much would you have lost if you would have sold at 37, Yeah, when it went down another 4 points. So what I really think is good job selling it, good job not holding it and holding it. Yeah, I did the same thing, Robert. It was probably around this time that I started taking profits early. So like I took some here, and there was a trade in here when I was up about the same. I was probably up a point or two, and I did the same thing. I held it, and then it whipped back down on me, and I sold, and I might have sold quicker or something. And I broke even or I lost. I'm like, okay, I'm not doing this, guys. I'm just selling the pop. And that's probably when I came on the mic and was like, hey, guys, I'm just selling the pop. Because I had taken 1 or 2 break evens or 1 or 2 losses on that. So it's not a bad trade. You're at the top here, you break out. The best thing I can say is at least sell some early. If you're up, and I can't watch it live, so I don't know where this was in the 1 minute because I didn't record my screen today. I'd go back and watch it and show you what I did. So I'll start recording again so I can go back. If you guys ask me trades, I'll see if I took it to show you what I did. But if you're up 1.5 points, like what are you looking for? What was the trade idea, Robert? So answer that. Yeah, what Rose says. So first, answer, if you can, type, what was your trade idea going into it? Was your trade idea, I'm going to get in this and I'm holding it to a certain level? Or was your trade idea, I'm just taking the money? So what was the trade plan going into this particular thing? Were you just scalping and then you're 1.5 points up and you're like, holy crap, I'm holding this, I'm going to be up 10 points? Or were you like why didn't? I guess the first question is, did you change your trading plan once you got in that trade? Second is what Rose says, if you're going to trade Tesla early and it was volatile, like if you didn't know that it was whippy after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like how it was trading here, it is just whippy this early. Yeah, it bounced off the 2 minute, the 100. I thought it was going to go up here too. I was in this trade probably with you, and I probably took a break even or a loss on it the same as you. Yeah, you were looking for a leg up. It's not a bad trade, and it was an entry. I do the same thing, and I don't think it was a bad loss. In the very short term, what you're saying is if you were looking for a full leg move, that was your plan going into the trade. And you're like, hey, I'm looking for this, you could do what Derry is saying. Like, you could see these topping tails and know that there might be a little bit of something, but you did break out here. And as this broke out, you probably looked very bullish to you, and you just thought it was going to rip, which it does a lot of times. A lot of times this is a green candle, and then you get another green candle and you get this leg. So I don't think it was necessarily a bad hold or a bad exit. As far as the exit, I think you did a good job exiting. If you didn't, you would have been down another 5 points or so, and you would have taken a 3 or 4 loss. The previous candle, you front ran it. Yeah, I don't think it was a bad, especially here, 36, 34, you got in here as it was going up and you held this chop. Good job holding this candle here, because this candle didn't break down. So you did a good job on that trade. If your trading strategy was, I'm going to not sell unless it breaks this 1 minute, and we're on the 200 and we go higher, you're 1.5 up, and then it drops on you. Sometimes, like Rose is saying, you just have to accept it. You have to do one of two things, guys. If you're watching this and you're an hour in and you want to know the secret to trading Tesla, one is acceptance of two things. One, that what happened to Robert's going to happen to you. It happens to me every day. You know what I do? I just come back and I buy the next one. It's like, okay, when am I going to get back in? All right, we're down here again. I'm going to get back in it. And you really you either have to accept that sometimes you're going to catch those 3 or 4 point moves, and then other times you're going to be up 1.5 points, and before you can blink, you're going to be red. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that loss, in my opinion, unless you changed your trading plan at the beginning or after you got green. If you're like, hey, I'm scalping this and my trading plan is I'm going to get 1 point up and I'm selling. Like, it's going to pop, I'm going to be up 1 point or 2 and I'm selling. A lot of times I do that. I don't even have a target sometimes when I trade Tesla. Like, I might have an overall target, but it's just like, hey, it's moving, and if I get 1 point up, I'm selling. And that's all I do, guys. It's like, I'm waiting for it to be 1 point up. I'm 10 contracts, 20, 30 contracts, whatever it is. Doesn't matter, 5, 2 contracts, 3 contracts. It's like, all right, we're pulling down. All right, we hit. All right, we're 1 point up. Unless there's a reason to hold, and you've got me, JR, Rose, other people like, I'm still in this. This looks so good. This level 2 is just taking off. I'm still in it. It's like, I'm just letting it go. Like, I'm just looking for a quick point, 1.5 scalp. I'm out. All right, I'm waiting for the next setup. All right, I'm in. All right, we're 1.5 up. All right, I'm out. You do that on 10 contracts, 5 or 6 times, you have a $5,000 day and you're done. You make $1 million a day, $1 million a year or whatever. Like, what is that? Old picture of my boys. So cute little babies. I've got something in there somewhere. Something over here. Kelly trade. Everybody's favorite, why consistency matters. Why consistency matters. And you do $5,000 a day, you make over $1 million a year. So, you don't have to catch a whole leg. You could just take a point and take the money. You didn't do anything wrong. It wasn't a bad trade. I probably lost the same thing. If your plan was to catch the leg or let it break down and you were okay with losing that point, then you shouldn't even be mad at that. You just got to shrug your shoulders and do what Rose says and be like, hey, losses are going to happen. It's just literally part of the game. It's just part of the game. No, I'm not in any other VTF. Is somebody imitating Gator in other NewsBeat VTFs, Marco? You tell them there's only one Gator and you send them this direction. I'm going to out Gator whoever these people are. Who is this fake Gator you speak of in this other VTF? I'm not in any other trading rooms at the moment. In anything. I'm in the NewsBeat live room. I'll post their stuff. I should probably get like something from them or something in case people join from watching my show. But most of you guys are in there. But I'm not in any other in Derek's. What in the world? You tell that person. I don't know who that person is, but yeah, that's not me. I don't know who that person was. But he is a sham, I assume. Hopefully he's a nice Gator, but he is a sham. He is not the Gator. He's not the Gator trader. Now I'm going to have to go. Next time there's an open house in Derek's room, I'm going to have to go over there and deal with this other imposter of a Gator. There can be only one. It's like the Highlander. There cannot be more than one Gator out there. I'm not cool with this. I'm not cool with this at all. But yeah, no, I'm not in any other VTF. trading room or anything else. I'm only in the NewsBeat with you guys and my Discord. So yeah, you guys, been a little bit over an hour. You know, cheers to everybody. Darn right, Matt. Gator don't play that. I don't play that mess. I do not play. Trying to get somebody out there taking my name and my cred. NewsBeat people be over there, be like, Gator hustling us. He over here in this VTF and this VTF. No. I ain't about that. So yeah, either way. Oh, glad to be back. Glad to be here. Nice day today. I've been doing this, I'm so glad to be in this house and stuff. Trading's been great. Like I said, this last month I've made, or the last 2 or 3 weeks, I've made what I had made in the last 3 or 4 months, or right there at it. So it's really getting settled in, getting my mind right has really allowed me to just trade aggressively and trade really well. So it's been really good. Hopefully I can continue to bring value to you guys, do good call outs during the middle of the day. We can do these scalps. We'll see what happens tomorrow. I'm hoping we don't gap up into resistance and then fade. It'd be nice to have a flat open so we can continue a run. Historically, what happens, I would assume we're just going to gap up massively, like 5 or 6 points in the Qs, run into resistance, and then have a choppy day, maybe a sell-off. So I don't know. I'm just going to wake up and trade the charts. I'm not going to be aggressive until I see strategies. I'm not jumping in things super early. I'm waiting for things to set up, and I will probably start doing a lot more stuff on here to grow. So if you do like my stuff, like, share, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. You guys are the best. Love you all. I will be back on here Friday night, Lord willing, at whatever time I get the chance, and in the evening to do a weekly review. Hopefully hang out with a few of my fellow traders, have some drinks, talk about trading, talk about the week, talk about the month, catch up. Haven't talked to you guys in a while, so come by then if you're here. You guys are the best. Love trading with you. You're why I get on here and do the show when I could be sleeping. So deuces. Have a good one, guys. See you tomorrow.